London Fashion Week kicks off this coming week, and with it, an old issue raises its head. Now, whilst I'm sure we can expect to see every colour imaginable in the clothes and shoes worn on the catwalk this year, what about the range of skin colours of models involved? Eurovision hopeful, blues singer and former model Simon Webb's following in the footsteps of Naomi Campbell by becoming the latest famous face to put his name to the debate, claiming black models are only used by the industry for stereotypical sports campaigns. Now, it's by no means a new issue, but one award-winning Nottingham model is on a mission to make a change. Nottingham Trent student Ibukun Jegede is with me now, and he's walked the catwalk for top designers, including the likes of Hugo Boss, DKNY, and now the Nigerian national is campaigning to address what he calls the problem of discrimination against black models. Tell us, how did you first get into modelling?
Well, I started modelling at the age of 16, 8 years now, back home in my country, Nigeria. And I came to the UK, was it 3-4 years ago, and I just took it as a career as well.
When did you first notice there was a problem? Did it kind of meet you head on? Did you realise there was a lot of discrimination in the fashion industry? How did you come across this problem?
Well, actually, that was when I won the top model of colour competition. You know, for instance, when I go for fashion shows and I go for casting, it's really very difficult for ethnic minority models. Black models are not actually being chosen to work on the catwalk. For instance, when you look at the London Fashion Week and you look at designers, I mean, you see probably 1 or 2 black models out of varieties of models there. So I think I've noticed that since I won the top model of colour competition.
I think it was a few years ago now, perhaps it was even last year, that at London Fashion Week there was a big issue, campaigns about using zero size models. Size 0 models were not allowed on the catwalk, and that people were kind of making it into a real issue. But you were involved in a campaign which was calling for more black models at London Fashion Week. Do you expect to see that happening? Do you expect to see a good range of models involved in London Fashion Week this year?
Yeah, actually, I think there have been changes because when I had an interview with some media back, was it 2 weeks ago, thereabout, and they got a report from the British Fashion Council, and the British Fashion Council are actually working on this because they actually know the problem. They know designers don't want to choose black models to showcase their outfits on the runway or on the catwalk. So I think there's a bit of changes, but we're still working on it, trying to make sure things work out very well for black models, and especially the upcoming ones, because there are and thousands of aspiring models willing to work on the catwalk at London Fashion Week, but they really struggle, and people who are on top now have struggled to get there. So it's something we're working on for them.
Well, you have the likes of Naomi Campbell coming out, who without doubt is one of the top supermodels in this country, and she's coming out saying that the industry is racist. If somebody at the very top is saying that, how do people that are just coming into their career, what can they do to help themselves get a foot up the ladder?
Yeah, that's why people actually bring in campaigns like for instance my agency called them Mahogany Models. They're bringing up Black Invisible, trying to talk to the industry. This is the issue we have. This is the problem we have for black models. Things actually has to change because it's very difficult for upcoming ones to say, oh, I want to become a model. If Naomi Campbell has noticed discriminations of black models on the international scene, I mean, it's so really hard. It's a really hard thing. And as I keep telling people, to become a model, it's very, very difficult to become a model. And to become a recognized black model, it's more difficult. So that's why we're trying to work on it, talking to the people at London Fashion Week, the British Fashion Council, and all the people, try to push them to use black models on the international scene as well.
This month, ex-blues singer and former model Simon Webb came out and said that he feels that black models are being used, but they're being used in stereotypical roles, so for campaigns advertising tracksuits and sportswear. Is that the same with your experiences?
Yeah. For instance, when I go for casting, I get jobs like the commercial scene, but majority of the jobs I get are catalogs jobs, like for instance editorial jobs. But yeah, I think it has to work also on the catwalk scene as well. I mean, if you look at the catwalk scene, I'm not really a high fashion model. I do varieties of job. and very versatile. But we need to work on the fashion industry. When you look at supermodels of nowadays, before you become a supermodel, you have to work on that catwalk. They don't really choose commercial models or supermodels when you look at the whole thing in the industry. So to help people build their career, they need to allow them to work on the international scene, on the catwalk. That's the most important thing, I feel.
Now, you mentioned that you're signed to Mahogany Models, which is an agency exclusively for black models.
Yeah.
You also mentioned that you won Britain's Top Model of Colour back in 2008. Congratulations. And yet you claim, and I'm sure you rightly claim, that there is a problem with discrimination in the fashion industry. How do you feel that these segregated, racially segregated contest events and agents, which are exclusively for black models, how do you feel they affect the problem? Do they help fix the issue, or do they create even more of a problem in themselves?
Actually, people say black agencies, like for instance, are racist, but I say no to that. Absolutely no. They actually help people. For instance, when you look at top agencies nowadays, like the top agencies that manage supermodels, you see limited black male models on their board, or black female models on their board, or not even black female models, like Asian models. When you think about it, to think about a fashion model who is a Chinese girl, you're going to struggle to think of a fashion model who is a Chinese girl, or fashion model who is an Asian girl. Do you understand what I'm saying? So these agencies try to bring in black models, bring your face out there, so that the world will know that there's a lot to celebrate in ethnic minority models.
And yet you say that you want to be known as a model, not a black model.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Basically, when I look at reports coming out, the press keeps saying, oh, a black model, a black model, a black model. Come on. I want people to know me as a model. I don't want to be known as a top black model. I want to be known as a top model. That is why they classify me as a top black model, because they know it's hard for black models and it's rare for you to see top black male models. They just use that word. I don't want to be seen as a top black male model.
As someone that is in the fashion industry, how do you feel about cases such as the one this week of this young girl who travelled to America to get surgery? Would you ever consider getting surgery to enhance your career?
No, hell no. I think that was a stupid advice she did. Actually, I know the girl, and I think that was a really stupid advice she did. I knew her. She worked for my friend who is a designer in London.
Do you think there's a lot of pressure on people to change the way they look to fit in the fashion industry?
That's what I say, because actually they say we black models, the black girls have too much of bums, they need skinny models. And girls go on diet, and when you see these girls, they actually damage themselves. So they need to actually be yourself, and just be yourself and believe in yourself, believe in your body. If you have a bum, have a bum. If you don't have a bum, just take it that way. You don't have a bum, rather than putting is a silicone into your bum. I think that's a silly advice that girl did. May her soul rest in peace.